Yeah, welcome to another episode of the Presidential Executive. It's your boy JB, Rag, Stringer.
What it do?
Hit the like button, subscribe, comment,
Share,
do all of that. We have a Facebook page. Search the Presidential Executive Podcast. We're going to try to do something special for those that are on that page here soon. Probably put an exclusive episode on there, something that we're only going to put on there. We'll keep y'all posted with that. But Rag, during the last episode we were talking about the reward for, should a man get a reward for not cheating? Mm-hmm. And that kind of segues kind of into this a little bit, as far as the equal and fairness not being the same, or as being different. Just as in the last time we were talking with the reward episode, everything is not fair because, like you pointed out, men and women are not the same. We're not built the same. Even the Bible points out how, a woman is more, the weaker vessel, not necessarily, just probably more so physically and stuff, but, it's just more of a fragile mankind than we are. And so they need to be treated with more care, with more, cater to their emotionals and needs and everything else. So let's get into that a little bit, man.
I mean, well, we've had this conversation before. And by the way, want to give shouts out to everybody who's been following, liking, subscribing, and sharing. Our guy Mo Kingston, Bruce Lee, Marcus, we appreciate you.
Sure,
MKJ, we appreciate you.
MK.
My girl Chrissy K on Facebook shares our videos. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
And everybody who's liked and subscribed and shared, we appreciate you. My guy Trill Nova, appreciate the love.
Yeah.
So y'all keep doing that.
And Crown Vic too, man.
Man, definitely Crown Vic. Crown Vic. There's no such thing as different and equal.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So if I put on a different shirt, and this, we buy, all extra larges don't fit the same.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Because if they're made by a different clothing brand or a different company,
yeah,
it's not gonna fit the same. Like I bought, and this is a crazy thing. Like this right here, is an XL. Because I always wear XL or 2XL, but
yep.
The shirt that I had on the last time we recorded, it was kind of fitting.
Right.
It looked like, man, I felt like I had been hitting the gym or something. But same XL, but it doesn't fit the same because they weren't made by the same, company.
And that makes a difference.
Even when I buy particular brands of hats, I buy the 5950 or the New Era or the Michelin Ness.
Yeah.
They fit different depending on who made the hat. It fits. You gotta adjust it differently.
Man,
the fit.
Preaching right there, because that's. We both got kids, but I got smaller kids now, and we go to Amazon. Like the trick, of getting stuff from Amazon is, you kind of go to the store, you go to the fitting room, try stuff on. You know what I'm saying? See how they fit. Mm-hmm. Like the particular brand, this particular brand. Okay, this particular brand fits EJ nice. Okay, so I take a mental note of that. So when I go to Amazon, I get the same brand, the same thing, and get it for a cheaper price. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Let's put y'all on game on that. But okay,
bang.
But so to your point, just like with me, with my shoes, I wear 11 and a half, 12, depending on the brand. Like in Jordans, I wear 12. In New Balances, 11 and a half, because they are made differently. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and it's the same. Like if you buy boots, you have to buy boots almost like a size down.
Yep, you do. Yeah.
Because if you get the size that you wear, like if I got a 13 Timberland, and my feet will slide.
Right.
But if I had to get a 12 in the Timberland, but then in the polo boot, I had to get a 13. Mm-hmm. Regular shoes wear a 13, but depending on the shoe, like if I get some Chucks, I can get a 12 in the Chucks. Because the way because of how they fit your foot, it's different. But let me try to, buy a 12 Jordan, it's over with. Like I'm gonna have to sell that. And so it's no such thing as different and equal. And so, and you gave a good analogy when you were talking about your kids. Like, I was the type of child that, and I mean, however y'all discipline y'all kids, y'all deal with them how you deal with them. I say my parents believed in the A-whooping. I got plenty of them.
Yep.
I would dare say 97% of them I deserved, and the 3% that I didn't. It was a lot of stuff they didn't know about that I would never say while they're alive.
Right.
You know, like maybe when they've gone on to be with the Lord, like I might divulge some of the information, but I got away with a lot of stuff they didn't know about. So I don't have a problem. Like, I'm well adjusted mentally. You know, like I'm not scarred for life because I threw a rock through a window and got my butt toe up. You know, I'm not scarred for life because I disrespected a teacher and got my butt toe up, because my parents got on my butt. Now I'm scarred for life. Right. That didn't happen.
Right.
And I'm not downplaying anybody's mental scars. I'm just saying I know some people will try to say they're scarred, but they take away their own accountability. Mm-hmm. So, but I was the type of child that needed a butt whooping, because it put me on. Like, I love to read. Like, you know, I'm just a cool nerd from the hood. That's what I've always been. Right. Like, I can't deny the fact that, you know, born in South Memphis, grew up in South Memphis and Raleigh. Like, I'm just a hood rat. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. But I've always been a nerd. I've always been somebody who I would much rather be reading than doing a lot of things. I'd much rather be soaking up information than doing a lot of things. And so you put me on punishment. Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to be in my room reading. I like to do that anyway. That's no punishment. Right. I'm having a blast. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'm reading some of their books. I'm reading books above my age bracket and above my learning bracket, because I'm on punishment. Might as well do something. Might as well be productive. Yeah. Like, that was how I learned how to write. Being on punishment. I ain't got nothing else to do. Might as well write.
And so he's a phenomenal writer. So you can just imagine how much trouble he probably got into, you know.
Oh yeah, it was a lot
back in the day. So
it was a lot.
So with that, you know, and bringing it back to the equal and fairness, when you talk about, because I think a lot of people, you know, maybe in between the men and women conversation, kind of get it confused as far as, I'm for it. Like, I have a daughter now, you know, love her to life, you know, want her to, you know, get all the opportunities that is presented to her that she want to take advantage of.
Shout out young Abby.
Yes. Abby got her ears pierced the other day too. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Style in the profile.
Yes. So, you know, so I'm not against, you know, women, and, you know, but I want to be honest as far as when you talk about, you know, there is a difference between, you know, being equal or fair. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just like we were talking about in the last one, if, you know, most women, like everything is an exception. Everybody has an exception depending on the situation. But, you know, what men thrive off on and women are way different. And I believe we talked about before, like with the WNBA. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to get paid like the men in the NBA, but not willing to, you know, do the things that they do. Right. And not, you gotta, you know, be a part of that culture that markets those dollars. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna make $20 million a year like Carl Anthony Towns does. You know what I'm saying? You just because you know, I got all these championships or whatever, like, it's not going to happen. You got to make sense business wise. So if you want to be equal, you have to go down that same lane as,
do exactly what I'm doing, move how I'm moving.
Yep.
But going back to the point I was making, like, I wouldn't respond off of a certain type of thing. Whereas I got brothers, they responded differently to punishment. Was the worst thing ever. Yeah. Like telling one of my brothers you can't go somewhere, like you would have swore somebody died or something, like he'll fall out on the floor and just be dramatic and just is like theater. You already know who I'm talking about.
Yep. I know this all too well. Pop.
But the fair part is that if we both do something, y'all are both gonna get y'all's punishment. but y'all's punishment varies depending on you.
What's gonna hurt you?
You see what I'm saying? Because what's fair is that both of us get punished.
Yeah.
Now, what's equally is okay. Well, you get a whooping, so you get a whooping. Well, I get a whooping, I respond. He get a whooping, he don't care.
Yeah.
And because he's younger and smaller than me, you know, like, you're not gonna get him as much as you get me anyway. So like, he don't mind getting whooped because he knows it's gonna only be so long. So I'll take mine because you're gonna show me more mercy. It's equal. We both got a whooping. But then he goes back and does the same thing.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times we say we want equal, but like to what the point you just alluded back to, but you don't want to get exactly what I get. You don't want to do exactly what I do. You want to get the same reward, but you don't want to go through the same process.
Right.
And my problem has always been, I don't mind acknowledging that I believe that women should be treated a certain way better or get more a certain grace. I don't have an issue with that. My problem is that, and I've said this before, people act like the double standard doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that you point out the double standard is ludicrous. Oh my God, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, because if I disrespected you a certain way, if I disrespected your wife, your kids, nobody would be surprised if you punch me in the face. Why should that change because I sit down to pee?
Right.
And I'm just saying, like, that. So because I sit down to pee,
right,
then I can have that same. So could a woman disrespect your wife, abuse your kids, and you're there and she's like, oh, well, that's a woman, I shouldn't do. Like, that's a conversation a lot of people don't want to have. And I got a daughter like you got a daughter. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not gonna start anything with any woman, but please believe. Right. If my daughter's in a situation, I'm trying to get in. My first option is to always try to get her, remove her from the situation. But if she's in a situation where she's being jumped by somebody, whether she's being mistreated or abused, I don't care if they stand up, sit down, if they have a certain time of the month, if they don't, if they like to dress up like a woman, but they stand up to pee, if they like to dress up like a man and they sit down. I don't care who you are. I'm an equal opportunity. And I don't start anything and will not start anything with anybody.
Yep.
No woman can say I've ever started a fight with her, provoked her to want to fight me. Like, you know me, I'm so nonchalant and just like whatever. Yeah. Like one of my mottos in life is whatever, nigga. Like, I'll let you whatever, nigga, and go on about my way. Right. But now if you talking about hurting my child, you know, whenever I get, you know, married, you talking about hurting my wife, any other children I have, I'm gonna do whatever. Right. And this is the crazy thing. We don't have any problem watching the movie Avengers. We have any problem watching Captain Marvel. And when she blows up, she blow up men, women, whatever. But now if she's getting beat by a dude, that's wrong. Why? Yeah. That's what you do. Right. You're a crime fighter. We watch Black Widow. Right. She be flipping and doing all types of stuff to dudes, no problem. But now if some chick call off and slap your mama like, oh, well, you know, that mama need to learn how to throw them hands. No, you're going to stand up for your mom. Right. As you should. But now again, we let media, we let certain people, and again, I hate abuse. If a woman is in a relationship and that man, and I've had cousins that suffer from domestic violence, I didn't like it. If I knew a dude and he was like that, I would try to talk him down like, hey man, you know, don't do that in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up with a dad, like, you know my dad, like, man, can't no woman on the planet do anything wrong around my dad. He's definitely a Captain Saber. Yeah. But, so I grew up, that's who raised me. Right. So, I have a certain, and I don't even want to say a certain level, I approach all women in that way. I'm going to give you a certain level of respect because you are a woman. But at the same time, I'm not going to let you hurt my child. Yep. I don't care who you are. It's my child. It's my job to make sure she's straight. I'm not gonna let you hurt my mama. Right. Especially now if my dad is right there. Hey, that's his wife. But now if my dad ain't there, yeah, you gotta step up. You know what I'm saying? Or he's not standing right there, right then. Then no, that's my mama. Yeah. And he not gonna let me override him if he right there. Like, nah, boy, that's my wife. He gonna take it. Okay, you got it, pops. Right. But and you know I shared this with you. I almost put hands to my mama's father. Right. I remember that. And nobody in my family was going to save him. Yeah. It took Pastor Moss and Pastor King to grab both two dudes, 6'3", on both sides of me, grabbing my shoulders and pulling me back.
Yeah.
Cause you disrespected my mom.
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of times, and I'm not just necessarily making it about. I'm using the physical example, but a lot of times, they say they want the same thing, but we're not the same. Mm-hmm. That goes back to a conversation we had where we were talking about things that men and women are attracted to. You can't compare what you would do to what I would do because you don't like the same things I like. You're not motivated by what I'm motivated by.
Right.
You know, and this is, I'm not gonna get you in trouble because you're a married man, but I say this: I've dated several women in my lifetime. Mm. I've never seen some of them had children. Never seen a woman helping the kids with their homework and been like, oh my God, I'm so turned on. Ooh, she finna get it. Never seen her cooking like, ooh, the way she made that roast is finna go down. But now I could, on the flip, be helping her kids with the homework, and it's like she ready to tear me up.
Right.
I could be detailing her car. Mm-hmm. I can't even come and change my clothes good.
Yeah.
You know, like let me protect her honor. I can't even watch the game because she ready to play.
Right.
Because that's the type of stuff that she's drawn to. Whereas with me, I come home and you got drawers on your head and you got your house coat on. Just because you cooking, I ain't turned on about that.
Right.
You know, you could be wearing gray sweatpants and flip flops and watching the game because you help the kids with their homework. You finna, it's time to go down.
Right.
Because you got us some flowers. Or, you finna.
Yeah.
Whereas with us, I need to see you looking at certain. We built differently.
Right.
So we like different stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right about that because, you know, well, wife, you know, I had a past life and know, you know, some of the stuff that I indulged in. You know, and stuff like that. But
your past was a lot longer than my past was.
But it's
you've been on the up and up for quite some time. I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah, man. You know, I'm trying. You know.
No, you don't try. You do.
I'm trying. Okay, I do. I'm trying. I'm still trying, but it's definitely. I mean, it's a conversation out there because we're in the Me Too movement, and
which I would say 70% of it is BS. And I know that's going to be controversial. Ooh, Prez said something controversial.
Yeah, actually,
I've been controversial since I was in 10th grade. Y'all to get over it.
I think it's actually more than 70, but you know. But
let's talk like, okay, so, and these are other topics I'm sure we're going to talk about, but like, if I call a chick at 2 a.m,
mm-hmm.
she knows why I'm calling her. Mm-hmm. It's not to have a conversation. If she calls me at 2 a.m. and I come over trying to have a conversation, I know she ain't trying to have a conversation. I've never gotten a call. The only time I've gotten a call from a female at 2 a.m. was to talk. I had a homegirl that went to your alma mater, TSU. Mm-hmm. When she was coming back in town, you know her. Mm-hmm. She'd be coming back in town.
Yeah.
During like a Christmas break, Thanksgiving break, and it's just like, I'm driving back in. Can you talk to me in so I don't fall asleep?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but then that's my ace.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we stood up and rat, and then when she would get like, okay, I'm back in Memphis, I'm, about 15 minutes from you, sure you straight?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
She could call me because I knew it wasn't on that level.
Yeah. Different level. Different
you know what I'm saying? Right. But now, and I will say it's been a rare time where I've gotten a call and the conversation starts with, hey, I'm sorry to wake you up. I was reading this scripture. Can you explain this to me? Or somebody at work, I'm dealing with the situation. Can you? But that was a phone conversation.
Right.
Like if somebody say, hey, can I come see you? Or I call a chick at 2 a.m. and she's like, what you doing? And I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Which is followed with, where you at? Which me follows with, on my way to see you. She know we not coming to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And so this idea that you can show up somewhere with the intention, and everybody had a grandma and a great grandma that said the only thing open after midnight is
a pair of legs.
The pair of legs. When this before IHOP was popping and Waffle House, they would say 7-Eleven and a pair of legs.
Right. Yeah.
Which is like certain gas stations.
Right.
And a pair of legs. That's the only thing open after midnight. And then so now we live in that, we know all know about IHOP and Waffle House and all that. So now unless it's certain restaurants, IHOP, Waffle House, Mm-hmm. 7-Eleven, I imagine, still I don't know if we have any in Memphis. Denny's, right. Certain food and stuff, but it's always places that serve breakfast.
Right.
And a pair of legs.
Right. Yeah.
So this idea of that, coupled with, and again, I'm not giving Harvey Weinstein a pass for that which he is guilty. I feel like he should serve every time that he's given, but I will say this. We have what's called a transaction. Mm-hmm. Now you blessed me with this good bag of Skittles, man. Man, shout out to the Halloween candy. But we didn't make a transaction for this. You just gave me that. I didn't have to do anything for this. Mm-hmm. But now, if I say, JB, I want that bag of Skittles, and you say to me, the only way you can give me this bag, that I give you this bag of Skittles, you got to give me $1. Right. Now I can say, well, that's not worth that. You right. say, well, that's fine, but that's what it costs.
Right. That's what I'm gonna do.
If I choose to give you $1, I cannot give you the $1. Get the Skittles, eat the Skittles, digest the Skittles, crack the Skittles out, and then 5 years later say, JB took advantage of me.
Right. Yeah.
Now, how does that relate to like a wine? Like, it's certain women have said they offered me, you know, they wanted me to do favors for a role, and I said no. Right. Some of these women have won Oscars. I'm not finna lay down for a role. Yep. Others have said, I want this role, so I will go down on you. I'll have sex with you. I'll play with your balls or whatever for this role, thinking that I'm going to get elevated to a Meryl Streep level.
Right.
Who's one of the baddest actresses of all time. Shout out Meryl Streep. Or Cicely Tyson level. Shout out to one of the GOATs, Cicely Tyson. You get to that level of, you get that respect because your body of work is just so amazing and you're dynamic in everything you're in. Yeah. And so the movie, it doesn't, it flames out or whatever. It doesn't do well. It's critically panned. You don't get an Oscar. So now, 5 years later, I had to have sex to get this role. You didn't have to. Right. You chose to. Right. It's a difference.
And so then they can come back and say, well, we can say about the Cosby thing. That's a whole nother, kind of situation. Like
I've read some of the court transcripts, so I don't even want to get into that right now.
Yeah, but it could be the same. Like people can just jump on a wave. You can see, so and so came out. They getting a lawsuit. They getting a deal. They getting some monetary check out of it and stuff. And so now, well, he kind of did feel on me different back in, the day. And I didn't quite,
But this is the other thing too, though. Like, even in a situation like that, so you mean to tell me, all these laws, none of the actresses on any show that he was ever on, I Spy, the production assistants from the Fat Albert Show and the Cosby Kids Show, the Cosby Show, A Different World, Cosby when he came back on, like in the 90s and 2000, like none of these women said he did anything. Yeah. And even Felicia Rashad, the Queen, was on, I think it was Sway or the Breakfast Club one, but she said she does not believe that he did it. That it's taken out of context. Right. And context is everything. Yeah. So like right now, you know what I'm on. Right. But for me to come back later and say, oh well, JB got me talking about this because I was right. I poured that. Right. Yeah. So now now check this out. Flip it. You know what if you was to say, hey Shay, I got a cup, like, can I get some? And then so I pour you some and then you say something raggedy on the podcast and then it's like, oh well, Shay gave it to me. You asked for it. Right. And there was a lot of instances where people said, hey, give me something to help me relax. What you want? Give me some of that good stuff. What you got? I'm trying to turn up. Yeah. I'm to the point now, I don't even want to, when I take a cigar, I halfway don't even want to go get nothing. I don't even want to get anything to drink. Right. Because I don't need it to come back. Like I'm extra regular right now, but if I ever get to a level of fame, I don't need anybody coming back saying, he got me drunk. Mm-hmm. But we're going out to have drinks. Right. I don't know your limit.
Right. See, and that's the funny part about it. Like then we're getting into a whole different level of stuff where now I know, I can't fathom what a woman goes through or something when they, people be like, oh, I never talked for years just because I was so ashamed or I was so distraught for the situation. I didn't know how to voice it. I didn't know how to say it. Now I do believe in there are situations like that to where a woman just doesn't know when to speak out or how to speak out, just because they felt so uncomfortable in that stage. But it's to a point now. It's like overkill. Like some women are coming out just for clout, or just for
to get money, get a bag.
Right, exactly. So people that do that, those are the people we more so referring to. Not those that actually go through a rape or go through a situation and actually wait 5 or 10 years to say something just because.
Or because somebody's paying your college tuition or paying your bills or got you a job, and then once that money stops, now it's like, oh, you hurt me. Okay, did I hurt you before?
Yeah.
I financed your whole life?
Right.
Because in a lot of cases, you probably could get more money if you just went ahead and sued me or took me to court right after I did what I did. Whereas it was more so like, hey, I don't want to blow your marriage up or your clean image up, so hook me up.
Yeah.
Cool. I do that for 20 years, and then it's like, look, we ain't smashed in 20 years. If you ain't saved up any money or learned how to invest or added some skills, I paid for your college. If you hadn't added to your own bag, I'm not finna keep paying because we messed around 20 years ago.
Yeah. You would think it'd be some laws against that.
It should
like
be.
That.
That's like extortion.
Man, but I mean,
and again, I'm not excusing if Bill Cosby's guilty. I believe he should get whatever he gets. But with what he got convicted for, and again, you got to read this court transcripts, which they're not posting. All of those cases that got dismissed, they never said anything. They didn't keep that same energy. Oh, somebody else filed. Why did it get dismissed? Perjury. Oh, you said you was here. You wasn't even in the state at the time that you said this happened. He was on the other side of the world on the day he supposedly did. Literal facts. Airplane tickets, hotel room. We got a hotel room, receipt or whatever, and he's in Los Angeles. You were in New York when he supposedly did whatever. Dismissed. You said you was unconscious, but we got here a record from your house where you called, a phone call was made to your friend for 2 hours. Your friend says that y'all was on the phone for 2 hours when you were supposedly unconscious. Dismissed. They're not putting that on the media. Oh, another case got dismissed because old girl lied. They don't. Oh, another case. Somebody else says, what happened to all of them?
Yeah.
The person that he got convicted over, her roommate said that the girl said she was going to find a way to extort money from Bill Cosby. The roommate got up and testified this. Right. She told me she was going to find a way to extort money from him. But when they put him on the stand, in his mind is, I ain't do nothing, so I don't mind getting up on stand. So did you give her anything? He said, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're guilty. But he didn't slip anything in the drink. He said she asked for something to help her to relax. So I gave her 2 of the pills or whatever. She took them.
Yeah.
You should, and again, I'm not saying if I turn my head and you drop something in my drink, that's wrong. If I say make me a drink and you put something in there and I don't know what's in there, it's wrong. If you wait until I'm in a state of where I'm unconscious or something like that, that's wrong. But if I ask you to give me some, if I say, and think about this now, you've been to college. How many times you heard chicks say, oh, we finna get white girl wasted. Oh, we finna get effed up, girl. We finna go do our thing and we finna get into some. The whole point of them going to turn up is so they could do some stuff they don't want to think about because they wouldn't do it if they had their right mind.
Right.
I've set up, and again, I've got chicks I work with, my female cook. I've set up and listened to them say, we finna go out and do some stuff, no regrets, YOLO. So now, if that's what your intention is, and you do that, then how are you going to come back and say, oh, well, I wasn't in mine?
Right. But because it's the society and the system right now kind of slick encourages it. You know what I'm saying? That, somebody can actually do that. So, that's
only when if it's not a black man, but you're right.
Yeah. And so that's like I said, in the whole news media, what you're talking about, I don't get it. I can get into that whole thing.
And even with that being said, though, when the same thing happened to Terry Crews, what everybody say he should have done because he's a man. What should he have done? Because that guy grabbed his balls. What does everybody say Terry Crews should have done? Oh, somebody grabbed my balls, I'm gonna knock him out. That's what he should have done.
Yeah.
How you gonna be crying about that, man? You 6'3", 270 pounds, man. You should have whooped his ass.
Right. Yep.
So him telling.
Yep.
And saying that he identifies with what women go through. No, and even women say, I'd have knocked him out. But now on the flip, it's women who didn't get fondled, who didn't get forced to do anything but was propositioned.
Right.
You saying you identify with feeling powerless. When you voluntarily said, okay, I'll get down on my knees for this movie role. How you gonna feel powerless? And some of them go in and say, and being in the music industry, I saw people go in and say, I will do whatever to get this record deal.
Yeah.
How bad do I have to show you how to want? The reason why I did not take a record deal is because dude kept asking me how bad do I want it, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, what else do I have to do? I've written songs, I wrote choruses for songs, I done freestyle, you throw a beat on, I start rapping, I come up with concepts. We got 3-4 hours, I'm sitting in here.
Right.
What you mean how bad I want it? And all of a sudden I started noticing his voice started getting a little bit more effeminate.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
His mannerism, his wrist started to bend a little bit more than what it was at first. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm being propositioned. Now I got a choice.
Right. You gotta make a decision.
I can say I want to be on the cover of this magazine. I want to be in the studio with these people. I want to have a chance that I want to budget and to do shows and all of this. Or I'm going to hold on to my integrity.
Right.
And I'm going to sleep great at night.
Right.
And unlike a lot of people, I know what it feels like to be sexually assaulted. I know what that feels like. And because I was a child, like it wasn't a man, like I know what it's like because you have a woman that's bigger than you. I know what that feels like. So I can't just empathize, I can sympathize because I went through that. I lived the embarrassment and the shame and the do I tell my parents? Because you're not talking about me at 12, 13, like you're talking about me at 4 and at 6. Just the feeling that it's wrong. That what you're doing to me is wrong. This isn't right. I know what that feels like. And I don't care what nobody say. If you got boys, let a grown ass woman touch your boys in the wrong way.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be like, oh, you're lucky, boy. What your wife gonna say?
Yeah, she'll be hot.
She might go to jail.
Yeah, she'll be hot. She'll be hot for sure. She'll definitely be hot. And in giving it in that whole thing, it's different, man. But I think that to sum it all up, I think that being fair and being equal is a definite conversation that, and like I said, we can actually probably go deeper or have higher example. I think we said something about the WNBA and stuff like that, but it's something that needs to be addressed just because the society and stuff that we live in, everybody wants to be treated equal, but that doesn't that doesn't fly if you want to live the most efficient way. I'll put it that way. You can do it, but you will always have unequal scales.
So it's just like this with your boys. When you get your plate, they don't get as much.
Give me the big chicken. Give me the big one.
You see what I'm saying? Like they don't get as much on their plate as you get on yours. What's fair is everybody gets a plate.
Right.
But it can't be equal.
Right.
Now, on the flip, if I'm coming over here eating, I might get the same size plate you get.
Yeah.
Because we're on the same.
Yeah.
And even then, to your point, now I might get, a wing and a thigh.
Right.
But you're gonna get the breast because that's the big piece of chicken.
I'm getting the breast, bro.
You see what I'm saying? Now it may like now if we put them side by side, it may be the same amount of chicken,
Right.
but you're going to get the big piece because this is your house.
Right.
And I shouldn't expect to get, unless it's multiple pieces like that, I shouldn't expect to get that piece because, again, even though we're on a more playing field as far as our age, as far as our appetites and stuff like that, this is your house.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, that's kind of jumping off the subject with what I'm about to say is the whole thing with socialism. Socialism is basically saying that, okay, I work hard at school. Let's say we got a 5.0 GPA scale. I got a 5.0, but now, but you got a 2.5 or 2.8. You know what I'm saying? So, but now, if everything is more equal or fair, I gotta take 2.3 off mine so your stuff can get up almost to a 4.0.
No, that's not fair. That's just equal. That's just making it equal. That ain't fair.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's
because I didn't work for that 3 point.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what socialism is. It's basically saying, I got this money, so now I need to give you this money just so everything can be on a level playing field.
You hear me say this all the time, and it's a quote from my OG Corey Red. Shout out my guy Corey Sullivan, the OG Corey Red.
Yes, sir.
Capitalism versus socialism, don't buy it. At the top is the same people behind it. Ultimately, both of those systems are foul. Because capitalism doesn't care who it crushes or screws in order for you to get elevated. The love of money, for the love of money is the root of all evil. When you love money, all evil is rooted in that. And even deeper than money is just the currency, the possession, stuff that I can get. When I love stuff, when I love possessions, when I love currency, all evil is rooted in the not the selfishness, but the stinginess of I want it at your expense.
Now, I will say I would much rather be in capitalism than socialism personally, because I think that capitalism, you actually would have some choices being in the capital. Now, you can, you can choose, how they go, but in socialism, the government will take over that and make you
give to other people.
Yeah, and do that to try to make things.
If I had to be, and we don't practice this over here, but I would be into objectivism, which is whatever essentially, whatever your passion is, whatever you're good at, whatever you do that. That's how you make your living. You don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And nothing exists but what your vision, what your passion is, and you go for that, and that is how you make your living in your business, and then you do business with other people who do what they're passionate about and what they do.
Right.
That's what I'm on. You see what I'm saying? So if you're a plumbing, you think plumbing, you think of ways to make water flow. Well, you know what? I might think farming. So I tell you what, you come make sure my house straight and it flows properly.
Yeah.
I got you on these vegetables I've been growing.
Yeah.
And I support you in what you do because I know you do it, not because it's a way to make money or not because that's what everybody's doing, but that's what you're passionate about. And I'm gonna hold you accountable to that because that's what you're passionate about. Hold me accountable to what I'm passionate about, and let us both do well in what we're passionate about, and go towards and help each other to be the best version of ourselves in whatever we're passionate about. But at the same time, and again, I don't have a problem with making money. That part of capitalism. The problem that I have is that I will crush you in order to elevate myself. It's like the crab in the bucket mentality. I will pull you down and try to pull myself up. That's the problem I have with capitalism. It's not the making money part of it. I'm all for making money.
Right.
But even the Bible says money is a problem. It solves a multitude of problems. Money's not evil. But if I'm willing to hurt you, if I'm willing to hurt your kids so that I can be elevated, and I don't have to, I can be elevated without hurting you and your family, without taking food out of your mouth. I can be good. But in this capitalistic society that we live in, and I'm not knocking anybody that's a billionaire, but you're not gonna spend all that. If you had $1 billion, you're not gonna spend that in your lifetime. Your kids and your kids' kids are not gonna spend $1 billion. in their lifetime. Unless you buy a team that costs $1 billion and that's how you blow it. Right. But it's not enough. You can't buy enough food to blow $1 billion. Mm-hmm. You can't buy enough cars to blow $1 billion. Mm-hmm. You can't own enough houses to blow $1 billion. Because I mean, even you think like some of these castles and stuff. Oh, this is a $5 million house, this is $30 million. Okay, what's 30 million to $1 billion? Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. So it's just this this idea, you know, that I gotta hurt you to be elevated. Mm-hmm. And I totally disagree with the socialistic mentality. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna hurt myself so you look like I look.
Yeah. Yes, it's different, and both can actually be something else we can kind of get into soon. But yeah, man. Next time, man, y'all keep it presidential, man.